Good morning. In this lesson, we are going to be covering Accounting 6.1. We're creating the worksheet. So we've done all the journal entries. We've been posting them. We've worked through our bank statements. So now we're ready to do the worksheet because this is what happens at the end of your period. So whether it's a quarter, a month, however your business is doing that. So we're going to work on preparing the worksheet. The worksheet is not a formal accounting form. So before I've said that you should only use pen when you're working in a worksheet, you can use pencil. It's going to go over your fiscal period, however you've got that set up. So consistent reporting. This is the accounting concept that is applied when the same accounting procedures are followed in the same way each accounting period. So you want to make sure that you don't do something one period and then the next period do it differently. Even if you're just filing your own individual income taxes, you want to make sure that what you use as an exemption one year is the same each year. You don't keep adding and removing different items unless something new has happened or something has changed. You want to be consistent in that. The length of time for which the business summarizes its financial information and reports its financial performance is called a fiscal period. It's also known as an accounting period. So a fiscal period consisting of 12 consecutive months is called the fiscal year. Now, I said before, fiscal periods could be a month, it could be a quarter, it could be semi-annually, and then your fiscal year is not necessarily your calendar year. So a lot of businesses do end their accounting year on December 31st. However, a lot of businesses do not. A lot of corporations, their accounting year may end on June 30th. Places such as schools will end theirs on June 30th because it just makes more sense that way. A columnar, I can't even say that. The accounting form with columns is used to summarize the general ledger information needed to prepare the financial statements. That's called your worksheet. That's what we're going to be working on today. And the reasons why an accountant is going to use a worksheet, it's going to summarize your general ledger account balances to prove that your debits equal your credits. So we're just double checking everything. We need to make a plan to change some of those general ledger accounts and bring balances up to date. So, we were recording everything into supplies. Well, we've used some of those supplies. So some of the supplies need to moved over to the supply expense account. Also insurance, we put everything in prepaid insurance. So now we're going to take out the amount of insurance that we have used that we already paid for and move the part that's actually used over to insurance expense. Those are the two big ones we're going to be working on. We need to separate our general ledger account balance according to the financial statements to be prepared, whether we're going to do a balance sheet or we're going to do an income statement. Both of those forms are very important and reflect different information. And we have to calculate the amount of net income or net loss for the fiscal period. So here's the big one. Did we make any money? That's important to know. So whenever we work on our worksheet, we're going to do a heading just like we do on all of our other forms. On the heading, you're going to begin by putting the name of the company on the top line. The second line will be the name of the report. And your third line is going to be the date of the report. So whenever we start our worksheet, step one is super easy. All it is we're going to do the heading up here, and then we're just going to copy. These are all of the accounts that are in our general ledger, and all we have to do is list them all out and put their balance, whether it's in the debit column or the credit column. Those are going to go in the trial balance columns on your worksheet. And even if we have an account with nothing such as income summary, we're still going to write it. We're just going to leave it blank. So one, we're going to write the general account titles in the account title column over here. Then we're going to write their balances in the trial balance columns. Whenever we get that done, we're going to draw a line down at the bottom to show that we're going to do some math, and we're going to add up our debits and add up our credits and make sure that those, lots of steps there. Basically, we're just adding the debits, adding the credits, and making sure our debits and credits equal. Whenever they do, we're going to rule that double line across the bottom to verify that we have checked that. Okay, so for our questions, audit your understanding. What is written on the 3-line heading on the workbook? I'll give you a second to answer that. So basically your 3-line heading, that went back to, we're going to have the name of the company, name of the report, and the date. And for this one, make sure you put for month ended or for quarter ended or for year ended, but it needs to be for something ended, because this is going to show not just a snapshot, but this is showing a work in progress of what happened during this period. So name of the business, name of the report, and date. Next, what general ledger accounts are listed on the trial balance columns of the worksheet? This is going to be all of them. Whether they have balances or not, they're all going to be listed. Okay, so now let's go ahead and look at our application problem. So we're going to be listing what, we're going to just be listing what goes on the header here. So it says on April 30th of the current year, Fix It Now is ready to prepare the worksheet. The business uses a monthly financial period. The first step in preparing the worksheet is the heading. We're going to fill in the blanks for each row of the heading of the worksheet for the heading for Fix It Now for April 30th of the current year. Enter the current year as 200. Okay, so on the first line, we're just going to put Fix It Now. Line 2 is going to be the name of our report, which is a worksheet, and it is 2 words. And then date, it's going to be for month ended April 30th, 20, and then it says to use dash dash. Okay. So we'll go on to our next step. Here it is giving you a list of all of your account balance, account titles, and their balances over here. So the first one we start with is cash, has a debit of $4,900. So if I come down here to my worksheet, you can see here that I just have to put in the account titles are already given. I just need to put $4,900, make sure that's in the debit column. The next one's going to be petty cash, debit of 75. Put that in the debit of 75. So on and so forth, all the way down. Income summary is listed. We just are going to leave it blank. Same thing with insurance expense and supplies expense. Whenever you get down to the very bottom, you normally just draw a line if you're on paper. If you're on the computer, you can't draw those lines. And you're just going to add up your debit column and your credit column and make sure those equal. They should both be $9,870. So if you have more questions, go ahead and feel free to do the on your own problem. It will not count as a grade, but you can practice it. Make sure that you get all the correct answers on that one. And then for your assignment, you're going to be doing application problem 6-1. And in your note packet, I did give you some check answers to that. So just let me know if you have any questions.